Yo, my tubers, my people, what's going on? What's goody? Welcome. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you're watching this from. Here to bring you the preview Manchester City versus Arsenal, of course. Listen, I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to keep it, it is what it is, man. It's the game that we've all been waiting for. It's the game that counts. It's the game, probably the biggest game in the Emirates era, I would say, because of this is the closest we've come to winning the league ish in the Emirates era. Um, let's talk about it. Let's have a quick zap through. Let's talk about the reverse fixture first and foremost. And actually, before we go into that, of course, this game's gonna be Wednesday, 8 p.m. Etihad Stadium. And yeah, the reverse fixture. We lost 3-1 at the Emirates, and I've actually seen the game back. I've analysed it recently as well, and I tell you what, you lot, we lost that game not because City did what people are saying City are going to do, this man will destroy us and whatnots. And we all know the reasons why, people use those words, and rightfully so, especially now they've hit super form. But it was just our errors. It was player error. It was the defense not staying true to what they have been doing right up to that point that we faced them, of course. And it's just and William Saliba was it. William Saliba was playing that game, and William Saliba, you can actually, if you actually look at the highlights, guys, and I will recommend you to look at the highlights of the reverse fixture. If you actually deep it and check it, William Saliba loses the aerial duel to Haaland, which then of course the ball lands and it's loose on the ground. Tomiyasu's trying to make a back pass. Tomiyasu, terrible back pass to Ramsdale, doesn't reach Ramsdale. Kevin De Bruyne scores the first goal. And before even that goal, so that was the first error, the player error. Before that first goal from Manchester City, we had our chance. I feel like that game was literally, analysing it, it was literally a case of us making human errors and not taking our chances. And these are the two key things that we're going to have to make sure that we get right at the Etihad if we stand any chance of us getting some sort of result or taking anything away from this game. That Nketiah header, which he missed from a Zinchenko cross when it was 0-0, was crucial, bro. Gabriel Jesus, if he is going to be the man starting ahead of Trossard, which is most likely going to be the case, you need to take your chances in this game, Gabriel Jesus. There is no more motivation, more, drive that you can have playing against your former side, who you want to take the trophy away from them, who technically, you kind of got this kind of vibe about you that they didn't rate you to the point where, or to the extent that you wanted them to rate you. This is it. This is tomorrow evening, sorry, is it, Gabriel Jesus. And you've been all right since you come back from your injury. You've been scoring, but then you've been missing some sitters as well. We're going to allow you on those games. That's in the past now. We're focusing on it now. I like to focus on the present, looking into the future. So that's what it is, yeah? You need to take your chances, or whoever it is, Saka, Martinelli as well. And the game's at 0-0, and we start in that Etihad Stadium. If we get early chances, they must be converted. Mikel Arteta needs to drill that into these young boys, Anyways, moving forward. So, yeah, from there we kind of lost control, and from the second goal onwards, we lost control. Second goal, again, mistake by Gabriel, making a blind pass, trying to pass the ball to midfield when he had a simple pass. He had a much easier pass. Zinchenko was right next to him. Watch the highlights, my people. Watch the highlights. So, having watched the highlights from a positive aspect, it kind of gives me a bit of hope. It kind of gives me the hope that I feel like if we do not make silly errors, if we just play football simple, we keep it simple, stick to the basics. When our chances come, we convert them. If we don't convert them, we go again. But all of this is sometimes it's too much tiki taka. I always feel this as I'm watching the game live. It's too much tiki taka going on. Sometimes you just need to do what you need to do. Get the ball from point A to point B to point C to point D, score. You understand? And it doesn't have to be a case where you score in the 6. Like, just score anywhere around the box. Just shoot. You can shoot. Let's have early shots on target. That always builds confidence. When you have shots, early shots, and there's one or two, you might have four shots, but two's gone on target in the first half. That's a nice little stat. That's something that you can build on. And this is what we need to do. If we go there and get swallowed by Man City in the first few 5-10 minutes, then I think the strategy should be let's contain them. Let's stay in this game first 5-10 minutes. Let's fill them out. Let's see what they're saying, and then we kind of start to pass the ball a little bit more, get a little bit more of the ball retention, and try to create chances of our own. And it's just about being clinical, my guys. Please. I'm going to go quickly into the third and final goal. I think the third and final goal was kind of like raw. Like, it was not so much player error from Arsenal's perspective, but we like Haaland and Gundogan, like Haaland's goal, they just cut right through us. But I do feel as though it's because we kind of let ourselves, we just went into some chasms, like we almost gave it away, and we shouldn't do that because we were at home. And if the players are, behaving like that at home, what's gonna be the mentality like at the Etihad? We need to show more character. It doesn't matter, even if we're losing 2, we need to show the same type of character that we've shown against Southampton, and we need to just keep going. Another thing is, I don't want to see this thing where if we are somehow having a good game, yeah, and it's, let's say 1-1 or it's 2-1, let's say it's 2-1, right up to whatever late in the game. I don't want to see Arsenal all of a sudden show so much drive and energy for those last 5-10. Bro, you need to keep the same tempo and the same momentum, obviously in conjunction to the type of tactic that you're playing at that particular moment. But I want to see the same levels of motivation to get goals. It's all about getting goals. Mikel Arteta has been speaking ahead of the fixture, and these are some of the things that he's saying. Chalk and cheese, like, you need to go over there and beat the best team because that's what you need to do. It's as simple as that. So it sounds like he's gonna come with this attacking mindset. It sounds like he's gonna speak to his players in a way where it's like, look, we're going there to score goals and we're not gonna hold back. We're not gonna try to, absorb the pressure, and we're going to be on the front foot. Arsenal has been, I think they're number 1 or number 2 in terms of stats. One of the teams that is best this season, able to get the ball, able to dispossess the opposition in their half. So that's really good, from a attacking, so defending from the front sort of type of thing. But he needs to drill these things into the players. We play the same level of tempo in conjunction to the tactic from minute 1 to minute 90 to minute 95. I don't care. Number 2, please, Mikel, play your best players. Play your best players. Of course, injuries and those things go into account, but I'm not too sure. We're getting mixed messages about the fitness of Granit Xhaka, and Mikel said that he's looking like he's a doubt for this game. Fabio Vieira is, listen, let's just keep the young boy in a bench because he won't be good for this game. So when we look at it, and I'll go into my predicted 11, we have to play the best possible 11 in conjunction to what's available or who's available. For me, the front three is pretty much a case of it sorting itself out. Martinelli on the left, Gabriel Jesus playing up front, of course, centre forward, Saka on the right. Midfield, of course, behind them, you can have Odegaard sitting in that 10 role, advanced midfield role. And I think, anchoring the midfield has to be Jorginho. I think Jorginho has a key part to play in this game. I think he really, really does. Look, it all depends if he's going to introduce Holding. Mikel's the type of manager who you wouldn't want to let his player down in that sense, especially Rob Holding being one of the oldest players in the club now. But then you got to think about it. You got to say to yourself, this is the time to be ruthless, Mikel. We will see if he's actually got the ruthlessness in him or not. This lineup, this game, will show us if he's ruthless. If he wants to be ruthless because he truly wants this title and he truly is saying to himself, I'm not losing this game. We are not losing this game tomorrow, bro. I don't care what I'm going to put you boys through, but I'm not leaving that stadium. We are not leaving that stadium with a defeat. Yeah, even if it's a draw, then so be it. We fight like hell for that draw, but we are not gonna give them the psychological advantage, the game in hand advantage, 3 points, bro. I'm telling you, like that's why even though it won't be fully over this game, it's not like the Southampton situation where you but we still. It will be more or less over in terms of the title if we lose this game. Yeah. So he needs to make sure he plays the right players, the experienced players, the players that have been in these situations. And for that reason alone, I do believe that we have to see Jorginho like start on the lineup, and we do have to keep Rob Holding. Rob Holding's been under the spotlight. He's gonna have his confidence is probably gonna be a little bit affected by everything that's being said all over social media and so forth. And I don't blame Rob Holding one bit, because I tell you what, I've been watching some highlights earlier on the season, and it doesn't matter if Saliba's made a lot of mistakes this all the season. He's played fantastically well, of course, and he definitely offers more than what Rob Holding will offer any day of the week. However, I tell you lot, man, I'm telling you lot, look at some of the games we drew and some of the defeats, and I'm talking about, look at us early, from the first early games of the season. Saliba's been in a lot of these lineups, and we've conceded, and it leads to defensive errors where they're not really in conjunction, or they're not really in tandem, and it can happen. It can literally happen. I think with human beings, as fans, we're always looking for the scapegoat. We're always looking to analyze the intricacies too much. Oh, he paces. Even I do it. I'm not exempt from it. Or Saliba would have been 5 yards ahead, and all of these things are true, but they're just all like they're all hypothetics when you look at it. When you analyze it on a balance of things, he's trying his best for the badge, man. We gotta be united. I want this fan base to be united, bro. I want us to be a united fan base. Yes, people have their different opinions and that, but Arsenal fans, man, jeez, man, we don't make it easy for ourselves. We don't make it easy for the players. We don't make these players, like, players are not like old school times, where there's there's such a a fine, sensitive line, and there's like the reach that players have with fans is so easy, it's so quick, it's there. All they have to do is log into Instagram and just explore. They're gonna get all of that. And I know a lot of people will turn around and say, "Oh yeah," but they're gonna look at the criticisms and whatnots, and they should take all of that on board. They get paid a massive sum, but at the end of the day, they're just human beings as well. And if you want to see a human being, just like in different workplaces and different, if you want to see a human being perform to the best of their ability, what do? You set them up for success. I just want to set these young boys up for success. I don't care what anyone says. This has been an unbelievable season. When was the last time we enjoyed a season like this, Arsenal fans? Let's get behind these dons. Let's get behind these young dons. They've made me proud this season, bro. They have 100% made me proud. And yes, if we don't go ahead and win it, it'll be a bottle job indeed. But look, it's City, bro. This great white blue shark is formidable, and it's a 90 points plus type of scenario you're looking at. It's not easy. Like they are a tremendous team. They have a tremendous manager, the best manager. Look at the things that he's been doing throughout the years, and he's on course for the treble. We're of course going to try to put a say to that, and Man United in the FA Cup and Real Madrid now in the Champions League. I personally don't think they're going to achieve the treble, but they're still on course and they can still do it. It's one of them ones, and they definitely have the capacity mentally and physically. I think it's all a bit too much. They'll need so much luck to actually get those W's and make it to the final, end lines in these competitions. But you never know. Listen, City, tremendous. FA Cup final, and I saw that FA Cup semi-final. I'm not going to lie, I'm watching every City game. And I tell you lot what, these men rested Edison. These men didn't play at all. Edison, Ruben Diaz, Kevin De Bruyne, who else? Rodri, a couple key players. You can almost say the spine. Stones didn't play as well. And I was just thinking to myself, what did These men are all benched, and the lineup, the starting 11, still strong, boy. I'm thinking to myself, how's this possible? That lineup was still strong. So they had Haaland, Grealish, Mahrez, who went on to score a hat trick. Gundogan, Man City are unbelievable. They really are, bro. And they are as tough as an opponent as I've seen in my time watching this league. But it's football. It's not impossible, and we are most certainly gonna try to play the game of our lives. Those players have to approach this game with the belief, and it's super important that us fans instill that belief, instill that courage in them, instill. We got to be that 12th man, that 13th man, and we got to go for it. But the main thing for me, the key thing for me, and I have to emphasize this in this preview, is as long as we do not make the same human error mistakes that we made in a reverse fixture when we're playing them at our ground at the Emirates, we should be all right. It will come down to moments. It will come down to who is more clinical. It will come down to who can take the game by the scruff of their neck. Gabriel and Holding, or Gabriel and Ben White, depending on what he does, he's gonna have to, they're gonna have, that defense is gonna have to be absolutely perfect on that Wednesday evening. Let me finish with my prediction for the lineup. As I said, Jorginho, he just has to, he has to start this game. He has to be somehow involved in this. He hasn't been involved in the last few games when we needed him, when we felt as though he would have been a better outlet. He would have provided more ball retention, more experience, more overall success. But he hasn't for some reason. I don't understand why you bothered to bring him then, Mikel. I'm sure this game we will see Jorginho. And next to him, listen, it's going to be a mad thing. There's options. I think Mikel Arteta is going to have to play the game of his life as well. And he already said it. This is bar the final, the FA Cup. This is probably the biggest game of his career up to this point. What are you going to do in the midfield? Again, this is bearing in mind, if we take out, it all depends if Rob Holding, if he trusts him, if he doesn't. If he doesn't, then of course Ben White slots back into centre back. And how long hasn't Ben White played in centre back? How's he gonna feel about that? What's gonna happen in regards to that? How's he gonna perform in that sense? There's the good thing is that there's options there. Is he gonna trust Kivior? Is he gonna give Kivior a chance? Highly unlikely. I don't really know. It's difficult to say because he doesn't tweak too much, and he's not really a tweaker like that. You more or less kind of just think to yourself, do you know what? It's gonna be what you've been seeing the entire season, and a lot of people will be okay with that, and a lot of people will say, yeah, why change what we're used to doing and how we're used to playing? Just slot Rob Holding in there, and let's get the same midfield. Partey, Xhaka, or if Xhaka is not going to make it, let's get Jorginho. Definitely not Fabio Vieira. He's just not ready yet. Odegaard, and then the front three will sort itself out. I think left back wise, again, it all depends what the manager Mikel Arteta is what the strategy is. If he's saying, listen, we're going out all guns blazing. Yes, let's contain him for the first 5-10 minutes, but we're gonna go out all guns blazing. After, we're gonna go on offensive. We can't hold back for the first half. We can't allow City to get into their main second, third gear and kind of keep it there until their score goes, and then that's when they come back down. No. So if that's the case, if he's telling them these things offensive, then we play Zinchenko at left back. He'll slot into that midfield. Maybe we can even try Trossard if he gives Trossard a chance. It's very likely that Trossard will start this game, but I don't think he'll start over Jesus. And I think Jesus will trust me. He'll have an argument with my man Arteta if he's just benched in this game. It can only be a fitness issue if that's the case. Otherwise, I can see a clear sort of front three of Martinelli, Jesus, and Saka. But yeah, man, it all remains to be seen. I can't really read Mikel Arteta, and it's difficult for you to read when you have a situation like this. When you have other situations, let alone a situation like this, now you think to yourself, right, okay, we know Holding doesn't have the pace to keep up with Haaland. So do you kind of just keep things as the same, or do you tweak it? And if you tweak it, how much tweaking are you going to do? And how How long have you had? Obviously, we would have had longer, one game a week. Like, bro, this is what I'm saying. Like, we are fresher. These man played FA Cup semi-finals. These man dispatched Bayern Munich. That would have taken so much of their legs and overall energy. I understand in the FA Cup semi-final with Sheffield United, they didn't really play in terms of the spine players, but Haaland still played to the 60th something minute. Grealish played to the 60th something minute. Mahrez and all of these man, they a few of their first teamers, a few key players such as Haaland, they played. We are fresher. All in all, this is all I'm trying to say. We are fresher, so we should utilize that. If I see 60th, 70th minute, our players are down and out, there's something going on. We're not training hard enough. We need to switch something up in regards to the condition of the players. But yeah, man, this game is going to come down to moments. So as long as we don't make human errors, as long as we are clinical or take our chances, 1 or 2 chances, 2 out of 3 chances, 2 out of 4 chances that we have, then we can go and actually win this game. We can surprise people, bro. I'm telling you, look, right now, I'm actually going to predict 3-2. I don't care. My mind's telling me you're a madman, Bucky, but my heart's telling me, you know what? My heart is telling me, my gooner, yeah, man, we're going to do this. Like, these men are going to have a couple inspirational chats with this person and these people and that group, couple legends popping into training here and there. We've been seeing the pictures. We're following it all. I want to see serious faces in training. I want to see seriousness this week. I don't want to see smiles, holding hands, jumping together. Woo-hoo. I want us focus on the task. This is the Premier League. It's there. It was, we had fingers on it. And now we don't even have, there's a gap. Our fingers are not touching it anymore. You just, the fingertips were touching the trophy. We would have been 11 points clear if we... Anyways, in terms of the match itself, in terms of the officials, mate, honestly, who else? None other than Oliver himself, eh? He will be the official. Michael Oliver has been confirmed as the official for the game. And that's it, man. I'm going to keep it there, people. 20 minutes, 20 odd plus minutes. And we go from there. But look, I believe. I truly believe. And I'm not just saying this for the sake of saying this. It all depends how we start that game. First 10, 15 minutes, we contain City. We get a feel for them. And then we surprise them. We just go on the offensive. They know we can play football. City know we can play football. We can do all of the intricate, bruv, dark cards, all of these things. Apply that. If you get full contact in their penalty area, go down. Because Michael Oliver, believe you me, City players will do that. Bernardo Silva, these men will go down, any little fling, any little touch, these men will go down and you can, bro, penalties being conceded, all these things. I'm telling you, I hope he doesn't mash up the game. I hope he doesn't spoil the game. Anyways, 3-2, people. And listen, it will be the victory of victories if we can go there and get victory. If we can go there and at least hold out to a draw, then it's all to play for, and we can kind of still continue believing and continue, telling ourselves that we're more or less there, and continue adding that vibe and that energy. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Come on, boys. This is it. Gabriel Jesus, I want a big performance from you. Martinelli, I want a huge performance from you. Saka, we need to see you firing again on all cylinders. We need that left foot. Bukayo, we need that left foot, my boy. Listen, boys, it's been a pleasure, and that was the preview for the Manchester City v Arsenal match coming up this Wednesday, the Premier League final, they're calling it. If you haven't already, please drop a like on the video. Please subscribe to the channel, guys, as we are now on the road to 200 subscribers. It's going to be a long road, but we'll get there together. Thank you very much, people, and I'll see you lot on Wednesday. Peace.